Palesa, welcome.
Thank you.
Was this your first World Cup?
Actually, it was my third World Cup, but the first one overseas.
Okay, and you've been a paracyclist for how long?
For 4 years.
Right. In comparison to how overseas countries manage their cycling or the paracycling teams, how did you feel, or what were the challenges that you experienced as part of Team SA?
I feel that as South Africa, we're behind. I mean, the other countries had nutritional specialists, mechanics, doctors, they had managers, they had coaches there. But I went there with my coach, Buti, and we went to join the rest of the team because they'd been to Italy and then they were now in Belgium. And to get to those trips, you had to raise your own funds.
So you're taking part as a paracyclist entirely self-funded.
Yes.
Is there no support structure from either government or private sector funding?
No, you have to knock on your own doors. No one's going to say this is where you can go for them to support you. The only time you get supported is when you're a Paralympic champion. But how do you get from development to Paralympic champion if there's no one in between assisting you?
Yeah.
You know?
So this race was part of what you need to do to qualify for the Paralympics, and that's your ultimate goal, right?
That's one of my goals, yes.
Okay. So how did it go with this race? I understood you had some technical challenges.
Yes. In my road race, we had 6 laps to do. On the second lap, I was going around the corner, the chain snapped and broke my spokes. I don't have spares. I can't afford spares. That means I have to sit out the rest of the race.
And you also don't have a technical team to assist you or to...
I mean, we had Mark, who's the mechanic who came along with Peter Dupree.
Okay.
But he's someone that Peter organized to come along.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's not specifically there to help you. So
No, he was there to assist cycling because it was sitting.
okay. Okay. And how do you feel the sort of camaraderie is between South African para-athletes because of the types of challenges that you face and that you face together?
I mean, we close, but also we all come from different backgrounds. You need to understand that. So also our pockets are not the same. Okay. So you get those who travel the world regularly and can go to other competitions across the world at any time. And then you've got me, this is my first competition. This is the first time. I'm not sure I'll be able to go to my next competition. I don't know whether I'll be able to develop. Others you can go to training camps. When I've been to training camp overseas. So, you know, there's a huge gap between the South African athletes themselves as well, between the ones who have and the have-nots. Okay. And then there's a huge gap between international athletes in South Africa and Africa as a whole.
There's a huge gap and a huge need for private sector funding and for a government oversight body controlling parasports in South Africa.
Yes, and assisting us with getting equipment, because every sport, whether it's wheelchair tennis or wheelchair basketball, we all have individual equipment. I can't use a basketball wheelchair to go cycle.
And you were saying off air earlier when we were chatting that the type of bicycle that you use for your road races can cost up to, or sort of an entry-level bike can cost as much as 100,000 rand.
Because remember, we buy them from overseas.
There's no one manufacturing them locally.
There's no one manufacturing them in South Africa, which is sad. Because imagine how many kids on grassroots could be taking part in cycling or wheelchair racing. But if you can't feed your family, how can you buy your differently able child a racing chair?
Yes. Yeah, doesn't make sense. So apart from the ordinary, everyday challenges that you faced as someone, a differently able-bodied person in South Africa, as a sports person, you are facing even more significant challenges. I was just trying to picture myself, how do you travel all the way to Belgium? You're in a wheelchair. You have logistical challenges in terms of boarding a plane is a lot more complex. How you take your equipment with you. How are you managing that on a personal level? Where does your strength come from?
I just, you know what, I want to be one of the greatest athletes. So I have to do what I have to do. And luckily, UJ has been very supportive. My coach, Buti Lawrence, who's actually a boxing coach, is very supportive. And Dennis, who's a gym trainer. Now, these people were like, this is what you want to do, and we're going to give you the best of us. Just give us your 100%, we'll give you 100% back. Had it not been for them, I don't know whether I'd be taking part in parasports. I don't know whether I would have been able to go to Belgium, because also we don't have competitions locally. The only competition we have is the national championships. Otherwise, you take part in competitions like the 947 or the 20 Classics.
So you're competing against able-bodied athletes and cyclists as part of your training?
It's part of my training, because that's the only way I can train. And then you get overseas and you see teams of paracyclists who have camps, like the USA for the Paralympics, which are next day. They already have camps at universities that I know this team is going to be at a camp and they're going to be training I've never been to a paracycling camp.
Yeah.
I've never had the pleasure of training with people who are differently abled and learning from them. Because also I've only been disabled for 4 years. So it's a whole lot of learning that I'd like to do. But imagine the kid who was born differently abled, who's now 30, 40, who's never had the opportunity that I've had now.
So you're aiming for the Paralympics. And there's a lot of focus in South Africa on the Paralympics. We all look forward to it. We support our teams. But we don't often know about the struggles that go into getting to the Paralympics. So where to from now for Palesa?
Right now, crossing my fingers, I'd like to go to Canada. There's another World Cup. There's 3 World Cups this year. It was Italy, Belgium. There's Canada in August. I'd love to go to Canada to compete and to try better my times.
And that would help you qualify, because qualifying for the Paralympics finishes early next year.
Early next year is the last time to qualify. So how do you qualify if you don't go to World Cups?
Exactly. Do you have funding to get to Canada yet?
Not yet. We're working on it.
Right, so hopefully there's someone listening out there who can help you with that. Thank you very much, Palesa Manaleng, and we wish you all the best for your qualifying journey, and we'll keep an eye on you.
Thank you.
Right.